Good afternoon, guys. Yeah, it's been a couple days. I'm on here to show you some of the stuff that I just recently got from Wish and Amazon, and I don't know if I talked about this, but my local Christian bookstore is actually closing down. They're closing their physical site. They're going to go basically all internet, which I'm happy for them that they can keep their business open, but I'm also sad that I will no longer have an actual Christian bookstore in the town of Rolla. I did recently go, and I don't know if I said, I probably did, yeah, I did do this in a recent haul. I did recently go to Ozark Christian College, the only college I've ever been to. For unfortunately, it was only for a year. I had originally gone there for general Bible studies with the hopes of going into either missionary work or radio, because I do love Christian music. Anyhow, let's dive into what I got from Amazon, because I only got one item. My wife and I actually ordered 3 different items, or 4 technically. 2 of them were roll-on Vicks Vapor Rub, but they were in a roll-on type form, which is easier, less mess and whatnot. And we also got a basket for our dishwasher for smaller items to go into the dishwasher. But what I got myself, excuse the noise, was a new wallet. Mainly because my old wallet is starting to get a little faded and worn out, and it's been a couple years since I got myself a new wallet. Now, originally I had been looking for a trifold, because here's my old wallet. You can barely tell it used to be shinier. It has like you can't see it. Maybe you can if I do the right lighting. There we go. It has like a wolf engraved into the actual leather. But it's a trifold, and I'm used to trifolds because they're smaller. They're a little bit more compact. Now, my newer one is a bifold. It's just a little bit bigger, but I got it because it's got the Nordic compass on it. And I'm looking at it for the first time. I'm going, well, it's a little bit smaller than my old wallet. It should hold all my necessities. I don't carry a lot of cash, so I don't need a lot of cash. And a lot of the stuff that I'm carrying in my old wallet, it's not necessary. It's just stuff. It's paperwork in one form or another that I don't really need. It's a few little things that I don't need. It's a couple old receipts that I gotta pull out and determine what I'm gonna do with it. But I'm gonna try it out and see what happens. If for some reason it doesn't work out for me, well, yeah, Jerry's already yelled at me for it, for not letting her know. It's alright. Live and learn. Anyhow, the items I got from Wish, I got 3 different items, and I don't remember what they are. One of them, I think, is supposed to be a off-brand iPhone charging cable. I have one identical to it. It works fine with my phone. I got this one to basically go into my hip pouch to carry around with me as a wire for charging my phone. I have a little battery pack that I carry in this little pouch of mine that has up to 4 charges. So it's like an emergency situation. If I'm not near home, I can charge on the go, basically. Because sometimes it's especially when I'm traveling. And the way things have been lately, it's like I need a charging cord in the bedroom. I need a charging cord in the living room. I need a charging cord in here. I don't have a charging cord in here. So if this is the charging cord, which it feels like it will go in here. And it's black. I thought I ordered another red one. Well, it doesn't matter, but it is my iPhone charging cord. Now, what I like about this particular brand, and it does work, I've had the other one for a couple months now, and I haven't had any problems with it. It works fine. It worked fine with my old phone. It works fine with my newer phone, which is Jerry's old phone. Jerry has had a problem with an off-brand charger, and I don't know if it's because the fact that the off-brand charger was supposed to be like a knockoff of the iPhone charger. This one is not. This one is definitely just, it says iPhone. It works with iPhone brands, but it does not say iPhone charging cable like you get with your phone. But the thing I like about this one is here we go. You might not be able to see it, but there's a little spot. Whoop, I can't find it. There we go. That little spot right there, it lights up blue when it's plugged in, when it's getting power. So you know it's getting power. So if it's not charging your phone, it's your phone, not the cord. One of the other items I got, and if this is what I think it is, it's going to be basically, for those of you, forgive me for those of you who think D&D is bad. It's not. It's all up here. It is literally one of the original first generation role-playing games before they started going digital. Well, shouldn't say that, because then you have like, it's basically your original pen and paper type game, which uses dice, and this is supposed to be a bag. Now the description on which says jewelry bag, but when I looked at it, it's not just a jewelry bag. It could be used for your gaming dice. It's a nice felt outer part. The inside has like a lining, dual drawstring, so you can close, cinch it closed. But I think the reason why they called it a jewelry bag is because a lot of jewelry bags have a rounded bottom. But this one, it looks like, yes, it does. It looks like if it's fully loaded, it can sit flat. Now, since I don't have my dice in here, can't show you that it sits flat, but it has a flat bottom. So I'm going to use it for my dice, because my old bag is kind of like, one of the strings is missing, and I got to do this and that, blah, blah, blah. And Jenny Ann started playing D&D with me. I'm trying to play with her. We have friends in Texas. Her friend in Texas, her oldest son, plays D&D. I'm hoping we can get him down here between Christmas and New Year's, or somewhere around there, during their holiday vacation. I would love it if he could be closer all the time, but he can't be. We were down there one weekend. He had a campaign, what we call a campaign, going. It was basically a game, and it was basically guys' night. So his mom and Jerry Ann, not my mom, his mom and Jerry Ann went into the back room, and us guys sat around a table in the dining area out in the main part of the house, our apartment, I should say, and played a night worth of D&D, and I enjoyed myself, not only because of the fact that his 4 friends that came to play, one of them, a funny guy. I mean, he could do a perfect Scottish accent, and I was like, oh my god, this kid could be like, literally, if I was his age, could be like even at my age, could literally be my new best friend. But we had fun. If any of you knows people or has friends or relatives that play D&D, good for you guys. I hope you enjoy yourselves. I really did when I was doing it when I was younger. I did enjoy it. That one night I was playing, I wish I could have stayed forever just to play D&D. But unfortunately I had to come up here and go back to work. They do play every Sunday night, and right now I work Sunday nights. But if things go the way it sounds like it's going in the near future, Saturday and Sunday nights I will be off, and I'm hoping I can find a way to connect with, I'm going to say the young man's name, Evan, and his group, and play D&D via the internet, FaceTime, whatever. I'm going to try my best to do that, because I really enjoyed myself. This third item, I do not remember what it is, and it does not look familiar. Does not feel familiar. Does not say what it is. Just says cotton tops. Black 2X. And I do not have a scissor in. Do I have a scissor in here? Yes, I do. I do have a scissor. There we go. It feels like it's in its own separate bag of sorts. As you can see as I'm pulling it out. Yes, it is in its own bag, like to protect it. These guys might be my new favorite people. It is another Renaissance style top. That's great. It came out. And it came in a little bag. I mean, it literally came in its own protective shipping bag, not just like the other ones where it's stuffed in a clear plastic bag. But this is in black, long sleeve. It's not totally Renaissance because it's got a button cuff, which is not exactly Renaissance, but it has the lace tie in front. And it is identical to the white one I have, almost, except for the different manufacturer. I got it from a different manufacturer through Wish, because I was looking for a specific style top. It has the lace front collar. Excuse me while I flip it around. So you have that lace. It has the Nordic. Let's see if I can hold it up just right. It has that Nordic compass that it has here. Excuse my fingers. Which it's slightly different, and does not have the full runic emblems and whatnot, but it has the base idea of the Nordic compass. And it's a very nice material. It's not silky, it's not rough. It's cotton, but it also feels like it could be a denim. Let's see here. This card represents quality committed to our product, which is good. They literally have a little card that's like they're committed to their quality. It even has information on it the other one didn't. This has like washing information, so you can machine dry it, but it needs to be line dried, or machine washed but line dried. Does say it can be ironed. Yeah, it says hang to dry. Do not turn, so do not flip it, like don't turn it inside out. Just machine wash it, line dry it, no bleach. You can iron it. So it and the company is DELIE. Combined with the characteristics and the male artistic requirements explained on this paper. The main okay. So basically I'm sorry, it's hard to read because it's small print. But the card is basically their representation, their mark of quality is this tag. And I can put it in a washing machine and not worry about it. Just basically put it in with light colors and hang it out to dry. And by the looks of it, because it's got a button on the upper arm, it's probably got, let me see if it does, feel like it. Yep. It's got a little strap. So if you want to roll up the sleeve and use the strap and a button on the upper arm to make it into a short sleeve. Which, in old days, because a lot of the people of the medieval times, especially the Nords or Norsemen, Vikings, however you want to call them, they had one shirt that was supposed to be a year-round shirt. And during the wintertime, they would wear like a heavy fur cloak or a heavy fur vest or something warmer over their one shirt. Because materials up there in the north and in the region where they lived, which was like Norway, Scandinavia, basically northwestern Europe, close to the Arctic Circle, they had, you know, their primary homeland had base materials. They could find iron and copper in the mountains. They had various type of grasses for weaving into various types of useful materials. They had highland animals for fur. Bears were like one of their primary sources of a lot of their meats, and between bears and elk, deer. They didn't have wild pigs up there. They didn't have, well, I don't know if they had sheep or goats. I think the sheep and goats they took from other parts of Europe when they went raiding. Um, so, clothing material was not as ample or as abundant as some of the other places that had sheep. One like Scotland and Ireland, they were known for their sheep, their wool, Highland cows for milk and whatnot. So a lot of the fancier clothing were basically either something they stole or something they traded for. Um, I was reading a book that basically says that they went as far east, I guess you'd say, into like the Baltic Sea and the Black Sea, the Adriatic Sea, traded with the Arabians, the Byzantines, the various groups in what we now consider the Middle East, Russia, even possibly as far as certain parts of Western China. But here I am going on about something I'm really passionate about. The last thing I wanted to show you was one of the items, actually, yeah, one of the items that I got from Lord's Library while they were doing their closing sales, where everything was 50% off. I got this nice, and it says 14-inch sterling silver chain. Excuse me while I fiddle with this for a second. I got this nice cross. Now, I'm not going to say yes or no to what I'm going to do with it, but it's not for me. My dear wife has a cross collection. She loves crosses. We have a bunch of crosses hanging up in the hallway just outside our bedroom. We have a couple of them hanging up in the bedroom. We have one big one hanging up, it's hanging up during a certain time of the year over our fireplace. So I'm debating on whether I'm actually going to give it to her or keep it for myself. I had gotten it because of the fact that it looked beautiful. I thought about myself at first, but I realized I have a nice cross necklace that I don't wear all the time. I'm not a big jewelry person. I don't wear a lot of rings. I mean, I've known guys who have a wedding band and a class ring. I have a class ring. It's a little big on me. Actually, I take that back. I think it's a little tight on me. I don't know. I haven't worn it in a while. But I have one or two necklaces that I change out. Right now I'm wearing, excuse me, the chain got caught up and I just felt it. I'm wearing this this there we go, wolf's head necklace. It's partially because of my fascination with um, Norse mythology and whatnot, and my love for wolves. If I could, I'd either be running with a pack or owning a pack. Legally, I couldn't do that in either direction. But I would not hesitate to make, if I lived close to areas in the Northwest like Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, the Dakotas, excuse me, that have packs of wolves. Most of them are around the Yellowstone region. Some of them are just wolves that are still wild and loose and have not been hunted to death. I would make my land open to them. I would not care. I know wolves. All these people who are afraid, all these people who got all mad and upset when they reintroduced wolves to Yellowstone, didn't know wolves. They have not studied wolves, have not done any kind of research. If they had done the research before they all got uppity about it, and the government had to make certain promises, they would realize that the wolves would never come onto human property to hunt the cattle unless they smelt or sensed or noted a lame, injured, sick, old cow that is basically on its last legs should be culled or removed from the herd. The wolves would never go on to anywhere near people, anywhere near their lands. The only time a wolf would be so brazen or bold is if it was by itself, a lone wolf, or a wolf that has been removed from the pack for whatever reason, age, health, whatever, and basically was chased off. A lone wolf is the only wolf you'd have to worry about going onto your property to kill a calf, kill your pet dog, whatever. It's the only time you'd have to worry about a wolf, is if it's one wolf. If it's a pack of wolves, besides that, the reason why the wolves in Yellowstone exploded in population is because of the fact that Yellowstone had not seen an apex predator such as a wolf in 50 years. So all the different herds of elk and deer and moose had grown to the point where the park needed the wolves to come in and help take out the sick, the lame, the weak. That's what wolves do. Wolves is basically nature's way of making sure a herd of animals stays healthy and strong. There was more stories in the last 20 years before the wolves were reintroduced in the 90s about finding various animals, deer, elk, moose, that had literally basically either caused a disease within a group of animals, making it worse for the park, because if you have a group of diseased animals, they're more dangerous than healthy animals, because the fact of the disease goes to the brain and causes the animals to attack people, property, do damage to various things, leave the park, become more dangerous towards livestock, because elk, moose, deer, buffalo, those animals are closer in relationship to cattle, and those diseases, those animals that are diseased, can cause disease within that cattle. So the wolf was more beneficial than the farmers and cattlemen and herdsmen and sheep herders, whatnot, realized. But because of situations like that, people get all, oh, they're gonna come in. No, there's no reason for them to come and attack your cattle, because there's so much natural prey animals for that particular predator that they don't need your cow. And yet again, I start talking passionately about something I have passions for. Anyhow, these are my items from Wish, Amazon, and my local, not so local, Christian bookstore. If you liked what you had, what you've seen, what I've talked about, give this Yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Sorry. If you want to see more, hear more, hit that bell. You'll be notified when I put up a new video. Any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment box. Some of the comments I have read lately have been good, beneficial. There's a couple of them I need to go look at again so I can write down notes to address those. One or two of them, and I'm not going to say whom or what they said or anything like that. One or two of them were, let's just say, I appreciate what you have to say, but your lifestyle and your health issues don't always pertain to my lifestyle and my health issues. I do apologize, and I do feel sorry for you, and I do wish you the best of luck to dealing with your problems. But I my life, my health has always been, let's just put it this way. Every time I've gone to a doctor with a health issue, or every time the doctor has talked to me about a health issue and tried to prescribe medication for them, don't work. Why? Don't know. The problem with most mainstream doctors is they are textbooks, especially the older doctors. Some of the newer doctors are learning stuff that are not just in textbooks. I'm not a textbook case. You cannot take the textbook and say, okay, you got this symptom, and this symptom, we need to do this. No. You need to sit there and tell me what the symptoms are, what the issue is, and let me know what you think needs to be done. I will come home, I will look through my home remedies, my herbal remedies, my Native American stuff, all my information, and find a treatment or a cure that works faster and better for me than your textbook medication. Because, and I found this out when I was a teenager, you prescribe me a medication, 4 weeks later, if not less, that medication is no longer viable because my body built an immune system on your medication. Not that helps me, just my body is now immune to your medication, but I'm still having problems. I come home, I cook up my home remedies, recipes according to my books. It works faster and it lasts longer. I'll give you an example. At the age of 16, well, between late 15 to mid 16, late 16, I had 2 aunts, my father, and my grandmother passed away within 18 months of each other. I went from being a good, normal, healthy, positive person to a total wreck. I mean, I was just, I lost my belief in God. I lost my whole positive attitude, my whole chipper, cheery, usual self, and became literally a disaster. Got into fights at school, got into arguments with teachers. I had all kinds of problems for a good 2 years. We tried psychological treatment. I spent 3 separate occasions, 30 days, so it's a total of 90 days, in mental hospitals for manic depression, suicidal, and then towards the end, before I found a better way, I almost became homicidal because of situations within my household. It was bad. They tried treating me with antidepressants and antipsychotics. Problem was, towards the middle of the last visit to a actual mental hospital, they told me they couldn't give me any more medication because they kept on increasing the dosage of that particular medication to the point where the toxins within my body was lethal. That if they increased the dosage one more time, it could kill me. That's how bad it was. That's how strong my body is against artificial chemicals. I can drink Mountain Dew until the cows come home. And it's like drinking a bottle of water, except for the fact that some of the chemicals in that soda is not exactly good for me anymore. This is my body. Okay? This is proof to me that most medications, even some of the newer medications, which is supposed to have more herbal and natural particles or parts per million or whatever in it. No. Some, like my wife, will say it's psychological, and I'll say no, it's not. It's physiological. It's both. It's both. It's my physical body saying no, we don't want this in our system. We're going to be immune to it. And it's my mind going, this is not working because my body is not accepting what's in it. But anyhow, that's a different subject. That's some other video. I'm just trying to say I appreciate what you guys want to say. Just know that most of what you're saying does not work for me. Okay? I don't have diabetes as of yet. Knock on wood. I am starting to show some signs of stiffening, arthritis, stiffening of the joints during colder seasons. But that's the colder season. Everybody at this age, 48 and above, has some form of arthritis or joint problems during cold, wet seasons. It's natural. It's God's way of saying you're getting older. You just have to work a little bit harder to keep yourself going. And that's exactly what I do. I just work harder, whether it's around the house, whether it's my job, to keep myself from going downhill. I know people, I've been around people in foreign countries that have more decadent, sweeter food that are healthier than we do here in the States. Why? Because here in the States we've become lazy. We don't walk as much. We don't work as hard. We don't do as much. Now, I'm not trying to say that Jerry Ann, those of you who know my wife, is lazy. She is not lazy. She has health issues. These are viable health issues that keep her from doing a lot of work. Not a problem. I think that's one of the reasons why God put me and her together, because of the fact that she is mentally better than I am, yet I am physically better than she is. We are literally yin and yang. We are a match for each other. She thinks about what needs to be done. She tells me what needs to be done. I go to do it. Granted, there are times where she tells me one way and my mind tells me a different way, and we get at odds with each other. It just means we have to sit down and discuss the situation to find what works. That's a healthy marriage. That's a healthy relationship. Not everybody understands it, and there are times where I just kind of go, I can't do it. But once I settle down and think about it, I realize, yes, I can do it her way. Or I can do it my way, but get it done the way she wants it. Make it look the way she wants it. That's what happens a lot of times. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. It's called working together. It's called cohabitation. It's called a marriage. Now, I don't know how to write a good book. I can't, well, I could probably write a good book if my mind would think in a straight and narrow and not be all over the place while I'm trying to do it. In fact, I have a project that calls for me to sit down and think and write, because it's a book that is kind of like a it's kind of like an autobiography. Basically, it's a book that I picked up in Texas at Barnes and Noble. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. It's called The Story of My Life. Or the story of my life. And basically what it does is it asks you a question, and you have to basically write down the answer. Basically what it does is it makes you think about your past and write it down so it's on paper, and you can't basically go, oh, that's what happened. Downside I have with that is because I'm not a huge writer. Excuse me for not looking at the camera. I'm not a big writer. I've tried writing stories. I've tried writing at least 2 different short stories. I would get about a quarter away into the building process of the story. I would know who my main character was. I would know what his background was. I would see what I wanted for the story for this main character, and then I would start to write the beginning 2-3 chapters worth and then go, I would lose. I don't know if I'd lose interest or concentration. I would just kind of go, yep, I'm done. I don't know where else to go with this. Some people have said, use your life story to create stories. Problem is, my life story has become a jumble in the last. Well, I'm 48. I remember bits and pieces. I would probably have to sit down and ask Mom questions about past. I'd have to ask Jerry about certain things that happened between us. It depends on the questions within the book. I've already looked at a couple of questions, and they're basic questions like, where were you born? Who are your parents? Where have you lived? Questions like that. That's not a problem. It's getting into the finer details. That's where my mind kind of goes, well, I think it was this way. No, I think it was that way. No, maybe it was this way. Maybe it was that way. I don't know what it was. So, the finer details will be yeah. Anyhow, I'm rambling. I am just going on and on and on. Let me redo the exit and then get off, because otherwise I'm just going to keep talking. For those of you who want to listen to me ramble and continue on, and liked the idea of me rambling and just talking about whatever, give me a thumbs up. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that bell. You'll get notified when I put more craziness on here. I am trying to relearn how to do certain things, so forgive me for any kind of mess ups. But like I said, if you want to hear more, give it a thumbs up, hit that bell. Until then, y'all have a good night. God bless. See you next time.